Imagine your workplace is just, well, a floating metal box thousands of miles from civilization. You can't just step outside for a breath of fresh air without staring at this endless, totally isolated horizon.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense reality check.
Right. So we are looking at a recent brief from the Director General of Shipping, or DG Shipping, and it details these new critical safety nets mandated specifically for Indian seafarers.
And it's a fascinating brief because we get to see how these mandates actually work in practice.
Exactly, getting past all that bureaucratic language to the reality on the water. Because, I mean, let's unpack this. How does a person handle the intense psychological weight of that kind of extreme maritime isolation?
Well, the human mind just isn't built to be totally disconnected from normal support systems for months on end. So the brief highlights how DG Shipping is tackling this by mandating a 247 welfare counselor service.
Which is a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The institutional recognition here is massive. They are treating mental health support as critical infrastructure now, rather than just an afterthought.
I do have to push back a bit on the logistics of that, though.
Okay, how so?
Well, a 247 counselor sounds great on paper, but out in the middle of the Pacific, bandwidth is notoriously terrible.
That is very true.
Like, crews often don't even have enough data to send a quick text message to their families. So how is a seafarer supposed to have a meaningful therapy session mid-ocean?
It's a very real hurdle for sure, but the implementation actually requires overcoming those exact satellite communication limitations.
Wait, so they are mandating better internet, basically.
Essentially, yes. The mandate forces shipping companies to prioritize dedicated bandwidth for these specific welfare channels.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it involves setting up secure, low-bandwidth text or voice protocols over their satellite connections. So a seafarer in distress can reach a trained professional right away.
And I am guessing that doesn't eat into their own severely limited personal data rations.
Exactly, it's completely separate.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. It elevates mental health from just a corporate talking point to a real operational necessity with actual tech infrastructure behind it.
Right, they have to actually put the systems in place.
But, counseling is vital for isolation. But what happens when the threat is actually outside the ship, especially when navigating high-risk regions?
Yeah, a clear head doesn't stop a rogue wave or a piracy attempt.
Exactly. Once that internal psychological baseline is secured, you are still left with the external physical dangers of the ocean itself. How is DG Shipping bridging the gap between an isolated ship and emergency services?
Well, that leads directly to the second major development in the brief. They are activating a dedicated quick response team, and that is paired with active 247 monitoring systems.
Okay, so it's not just a hotline you call if you're sinking.
No, not at all. Instead of relying solely on a distressed crew to initiate a mayday call, this system utilizes continuous tracking.
Using what, like GPS?
Yeah, they are leveraging AI's data and ship-to-shore telemetry to monitor vessels in real time.
Oh, so if a vessel suddenly deviates from its course or goes dark in a high-risk area, the team ashore already knows something is wrong.
Exactly. They know before anyone even picks up a radio.
That is wild.
It's a fundamental shift. I mean, imagine a localized fire in the engine room while navigating near the Red Sea.
terrifying.
Right. But now, the continuous monitoring system flags the distress signal or the course anomaly instantly.
So the response team can just jump right in.
Yep. The quick response team can immediately begin coordinating with nearby naval vessels or regional maritime rescue coordination centers. They drastically reduce the time between a crisis occurring and help arriving.
And there is a crucial secondary layer to this that the brief mentions, specifically regarding the families back home.
Which is so important because historically, families were just left in agonizing silence, relying on rumors when a ship faced an emergency.
Right, just waiting by the phone.
Exactly. But now the quick response team acts as a centralized information hub. They provide timely, verified updates directly to the seafarers' dependents.
That is such a relief. So it really serves a dual benefit.
It does. Rapid emergency coordination for the crews facing the physical danger and vital psychological relief for their families.
Looking at these two initiatives together, DG Shipping is really tackling seafarer welfare holistically.
They really are.
Like, they are guarding mental health from the inside out with the dedicated counseling bandwidth and then providing immediate physical emergency response from the outside in with the active telemetry monitoring.
It represents a totally necessary evolution, moving from reactive safety measures to proactive, continuous oversight.
Because navigating the global supply chain is only getting more complex.
Right, and these systems finally acknowledge the intense daily reality of the job.
It completely shifts your perspective on the journey of almost everything sitting in your house right now.
It really makes you think differently about your stuff.
So we will leave you with this to ponder on your own. Given that these extensive 24/7 mental and physical monitoring systems are now required just to keep crews safe in today's global environment, how much of the modern world and the everyday goods you rely on is entirely dependent on the invisible daily risks taken by the seafarers inside those floating metal boxes?